horrible story, obviously. You know, in Texas, I just, I really hate, I think this is why I became a business reporter years ago, because these tragedies really get to me and they're horrible to see. And yet this is reality and this is life. And it's part of what we do. Caroline Levitt coming out just a short time ago and giving an update here on the Texas flash floods. I want to play this for you.
Everyone here at the White House, including the President of the United States, is praying for the victims' families and friends during this unimaginable time. President Trump swiftly signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure our heroic first responders have every resource they need in the relief and recovery efforts. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to Texas over the weekend, and the entire Trump administration is working hand in glove with state and local officials to provide every assistance available. The situation on the ground remains dangerous, and there could be additional public safety threats with potential incoming heavy rain. So we encourage everyone in the area to remain vigilant, listen to all warnings, and respond accordingly.
So in other words, there could be more tragedy to come. And it's awful. I mean, on the one hand, it's great to see this celebration of life with this hero that I want to introduce you to, because he has rescued 165 people and is truly just amazing. He's out there swimming in the face of all this danger, and it's just incredible to see. A member of the Coast Guard, this was actually his first assignment, and he got right out there. He rescued 165 people, including a lot of very scared little girls there at Camp Mystic. This is his picture you see as we look at some of the video of the horrible, horrible, horrible flooding. It's tough, and I've covered a lot of really tough things, from Katrina to many other natural disasters, but as I see all this come in, it's absolutely heartbreaking. He did get out and do a video earlier today. I want to share this with you because it's a little optimism in spite of all this horror.
Morning, everyone. So I'll kind of give you guys a quick synopsis of what was going on. The Coast Guard launched us and decided to send a rescue crew from Air Station Corpus Christi at about 6:30, 7 a.m. on Friday, the 4th of July. I just happened to be on the duty crew with Ian Hopper, Blair Rougefort, Seth Reeves, some of our crew members in the Coast Guard. And they sent us out. We kind of encountered some pretty serious weather, some of the worst flying we've ever dealt with personally. It took us, what should have been an hour flight, probably took us about 7 or 8. Just to get into the landing zone. Once made about 4 different approaches trying to get in, we were able to get boots on the ground with the Air National Guard, Department of Public Safety for Texas, game wardens. And we decided to leave me on scene at Camp Mystic. That was kind of our main triage site we were trying to help out with. And we decided, hey, if we leave the rescue swimmer on scene, we'll have more space in our Dolphin MH-65. So based on that, I got on scene, boots on the ground at Camp Mystic. Kind of discovered I was the only person there. As far as like first responders go. So yeah, I had about 200 kids mostly, all scared, terrified, cold, having probably the worst day of their life, and I just kind of needed to triage them, get them to a higher level of care, and get them off the flood zone with a lot of the US-60 Army helicopters. United States Army National Guard was landing their 60s with Task Force 1, some of their rescue swimmers, and they were able to land. We kind of came up with 2 different landing zones. There was one off an archery field and then one at a soccer field. So yeah, we were able to kind of land those 60s in there. And then I was kind of the main guy as far as like grabbing people, usually like 15 to 10 kids at a time, maybe one adult with them, and bringing them over to those 60s and getting them to a different LZ that was kind of safe and had more first responders than just myself out there.
Had you ever done this before?
No, this is my first one. I haven't had any cases before. I've been a rescue swimmer for about a year, fully trained for about 6 months. So yeah, this is my first experience, but I really just kind of relied on the training we get. Coast Guard rescue swimmers get some of the highest level training in the world. So really just kind of relied on that, and that, just knowing that any of the rescue swimmers in the Coast Guard would have done the exact same, if not better than me. So
training is one thing, but this was the real deal.
Yeah, this is definitely the real deal, but I just remembered that, when I got on scene, there was, 200 kids looking to someone for some sort of comfort and safety. They don't really know what my experience is or my rank or my age. They just know, hey, this guy's a professional and he's here to help us, and I kind of had to live up to that standard. But yeah, the real heroes, I think, were the kids on the ground. Like, those guys are heroic, and they were dealing with some of the worst times of their lives, and they were staying strong, and that helped inspire me to kind of get in there and help them out.
Well, you sure stayed strong as well. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Incredible.
Congratulations on the job.
Absolutely, positively incredible. And it's nice to hear some good stories in light of all the horror that we're seeing. And it's as I said, it's the worst part about being in the news business, when there are these horrible things. And I'm pretty sure the president feels pretty awful right about now. Again, you heard from Caroline Leavitt, who said they put in a whole protocol, and he's going to be traveling there to Texas this week. But it's just horrible to see. And when you see something as bad as what we're seeing, as the tragedy that's unfolding in Texas right now, it is never okay to politicize it or to make it about something like this woman did, which was race. This is like monstrous. Or this other woman did, a pediatrician who decided to make it about politics. I mean, what kind of individuals are they? This, Dr. Evil, they're calling her there on the New York Post, because she deserves such a description for trying to somehow suggest that maybe somebody had something coming to them because of who they voted for. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that makes you as a human being want to cry, when people completely lack empathy. So this is some doctor there, a pediatrician nonetheless, apparently in Texas, and I'm just disgusted by it. She wrote in her social media post, "May all visitors, children, non-MAGA voters, and pets be safe and dry." And she talks about how they voted for MAGA, and so they should get what's coming to them. Think about that. And then politicians, of course, are blaming Donald Trump. And I'm just going to say something right now, here and now. This is not time for any kind of blame game, okay? Enough. These are human beings. These are little girls. That is messed up. Seriously messed up. But I'll let Caroline expand.
Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, we have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. And the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary.
This is not the time or place, okay? I'm just saying it. Chuck Schumer, the rest of you, the crazy pediatrician who now lost her job, not the time and place. We do not take a situation like this that is raw, where people are still not found, and turn it into what you people are trying to turn it into. Unacceptable, okay? Just here and there. Disgusting, disgusting behavior. But on top of that, it gets worse, okay? Because it's not just the pediatrician. You got a crazy woman out there, and there's a lot more that think like her, all right? I'm just going to say it. She's not alone. Why do you think she's getting so much pickup for her social media posts? A Houston appointee who had her job up until a couple of months ago, apparently working on the Food Insecurity Board there. She's also a Princeton non-resident fellow. Brilliant lady, right? Writing this. I have to lean in to see it. Consequences for what? Maybe it was God's will to wash them little, and I mean, it's just such a despicable word. And this woman is such a despicable person for saying this away. I mean, that turns my stomach. And yet this is what exists. What has happened to us? Listen to her.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a and all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported, they shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada yada yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't.
That's sick. Okay, that's sick stuff. Really, really, and you know what? It's days like today that I really don't love this job. Because it disappoints me. It disappoints me in people. As great as that Savior is out there rescuing these people, those young kids, you got morons like this, who, by the way, Princeton University's putting up on a pedestal. She's a non-resident fellow. Oh, and the Houston mayor appointed her to a special board because apparently they want that point of view. I'm sorry. No, there is no room for that point of view. Ever. Ever. In the United States of America. This is sick stuff. And you know what? She's loving every minute of it. Oh yeah, she's making more videos.
Y'all called the news on me. I wasn't going to post anymore. But I think it's really funny how my little voice and my little 7,000 followers has garnered enough attention to where y'all want me to make a public statement. And I gave one. I definitely gave one. Wouldn't have been my first time having a news interview. If you look up my name, and I'm sure y'all have seen it, I have, tons of news articles written about me and the work that I've done. So, okay. She asked me for a statement. I gave her one. And I told her what it was. And I think that this is like, on one hand, it's definitely funny because I'm over here kikiing for sure. But do not negate the fact, all right? These are white people using their white power, all right, to try to bring me down, I guess. But the fact that it's just not working is even more hilarious. Y'all have called Princeton. Mind you, my fellowship with Princeton was 2 years ago. The work that I did is already done, and the money that I've been paid has already been paid and spent. So that's done. So reaching out to them is doing absolutely nothing. I mean, you're just making your fingers sore, typing all the letters. And when it comes to our Houston Food Insecurity Board, I'm probably going to make a separate video about that because I got a few choice words for Mayor Whitmore.
That's pretty gross. Okay? That's pretty gross. So she's been exposed. She's happily exposed. She's doing more videos. She wants the attention. And I think it's just important to remember, this is the crowd, okay? This is the crowd that they're courting. This is the crowd that wants to divide and conquer. This is the crowd that wants it to be male versus female, black versus white, gay versus straight, trans versus gay. I mean, yeah. Right? Because it's straight out of some kind of Marxist playbook. Sick stuff. Really, really, really sick stuff and disheartening.